Now, that soundtrack always gets me hyped before the show. My name is Kobe Spiking Kruma. You're tuned in to Joy 99.7 FM, and the show is Geek Squad. Today, I have with me the geeks. Last week, we didn't have the geeks. Today, we have the geeks. And we're going to have a very geeky conversation talking about geeky stuff. This is the show that brings technology closer to you. We break everything tech down, and we make sure that you understand it. Now, the question for today, Ghana. We're going to focus on the Ghanaian tech industry. You know, tech is booming all over the world. Everywhere you go, technology is the driving force of innovation and development. And in Ghana, are we focusing on technology? With me going to have this discussion is Kwekwa Nancy. I have Michael Ajiti.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
I have Winston Woche.
What's good?
And then I have with me Maximus.
Yeah.
Aurelius.
So,
Claudius.
the first question. Do we have a tech industry in Ghana?
That's
Max.
a very funny question.
Yeah. Max, do we?
We do.
You've been in the industry.
We do, yeah. We've done the
don't know if you should
Kalamse
call
up
it.
till now. So some of us started 2002, right? So we've done all the Galamsey, and we've realized that instead of the industry peaking, it has plateaued, and to some extent it's even
Slightly
dipping. Because there's no direction, there is no policy guiding it. So people, in fact, the tech industry is surviving on the initiative of the private sector, right? So that is what is happening. And if they are not effective, if they don't have the necessary funding, then you realize the tech sector is not, visible, it's not influential, it's not impactful in the country. So we have some resemblance of an industry, but we don't know where it's heading.
Wow. We have some resemblance of an industry. We don't know where it's heading. Winston, you were eager to say something.
Well, I agree with him. So I wouldn't call it much of a tech industry. I call it like a tech hub. Like, we have some tech stuff going on. Some with a lot of potential. I'm not mean. No, I mean, it's the truth. And like he said, there's so many factors that are responsible for this. And it's very sad because there are so many countries out there where a major factor in the drive of their development is from technological firms. They are reaping so many tax benefits from these technological firms. But yeah, we are here, and yeah, I mean, the greatest tech stuff like the greatest tech hub I can honestly mention in Ghana is Seco.
Huh?
Tiptoe Lane. That's where a lot of interest.
Silicon
It
Valley.
is a Silicon Valley.
right
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the Silicon Lane.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
tiptoe lane.
Yeah, so I don't think we
Isn't
have a
that
tech industry.
narrowing it down to just gadgets? Because that's all that happens in the tiptoe lane. It's just gadgets. But when we're looking at technology, it goes beyond just gadgets. We're talking about services and all the other things that come in between.
Yeah, servicing your laptop is a service.
But I was going to mention a point that is indicative of actually we don't have a full-blown industry, but it is in the growing stages. We are now at the point where we are getting buds starting to develop, and there's great potential. Things are happening. Even the current government's insistence on making everything technology-based is actually enabling a lot of things. Shame. So, oh, wow, God, clear your throat, why don't you? But yeah, shameless plug. Mr. If you lock the door so a producer can't pull me out. But even the company I work with is right up there in the forefront of what technology can offer. And I look at the potential of the things we can do, and it's like, yeah, you know what? A little bit more application, and we could be seeing some great things, because we strive to make Ghana similar to what Estonia is, where if you have your citizen's ID card, and please, if you do call, be civil. I know what is happening. We know what is happening with the distribution of those cards, but it should be a case of that card literally takes care of everything. It's not only your ID and your passport, your bank card, your medical cards, literally everything in one. And the application is there, possibly right now in our cards. All those of you who have the Ghana cards, what you're holding is a card that could potentially hold everything you need to survive in Ghana. Literally. You walk into a hospital, you have a medical issue. It's not a case of where's your medical records, hand over your card. DVLA, you need a new license, hand over your card. Medical insurance, literally
But you
anything.
see, now that you mention that, it takes us back to the fact that we're talking about the whole industry and not just the sector of that industry. And even if we talk about that identification in itself, we as a tech industry, that is not
Tech hub.
even that that is not even
Growth industry.
accurately,
growth industry.
or should I like, it's not been exploited well. There's still very, very wide holes that can be dug in it.
Yeah. Like for instance, the fact that when you want to get an online passport, you fill in online and
physical
you print
form.
it.
Yeah.
What's the point in that?
Also in Ghana, we all know that before you get maybe a new digital item repaired, you need to get onto the streets. Without the streets, there's no place to even service it or even.
So we do
anything
not
about it.
have a tech industry.
We
Yeah, the
have,
tech
we
hub.
have the basis of one that is growing.
So you're the only pro tech industry person in this conversation.
Yes, and I will stand by it today.
So all three of you, besides Michael, are of the view that we do not have a tech industry in Ghana. Or we do, according to Max, we do, but it's shaky.
No, we have cottage industry and we have like the
Like,
major industries.
yeah.
Right?
I still feel like the word
we
industry
have
we
like
had in it.
some enterprise thing concept, but not industry.
Tech limited.
Fine, I'll still
Because it's limited.
I'll sit by that one. We are industry, yes, but we don't have a full blown industry. Factories throwing out. Ooh, yeah, we wasn't a company that used to do that. RLG.
Oh,
So
good.
and on that bombshell,
Interesting. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
You
I
see-
didn't hear that one.
the tech industry comprises of multiple tech companies.
Yeah.
Multiple tech sectors. Now, we have few tech companies that we can actually boldly stand and say these are tech companies.
Yeah, definitely.
But then, in that sector in which they operate, does that sector actually even exist? If I say this, for instance, let's take fintech. That's a sector that is being exploited worldwide. When you come to Ghana, it's still like we're now breaking bread on fintech.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, for Ghana, I was engaging a friend, a colleague in the Ghana Chamber of Technology. So we are talking about the fintech, the concept of payment, and we are trying to drive fintech ahead of product and services. Which is the opposite. You should have product and services people want to buy before they think of payment. Right, so everybody is developing an app, and very soon banks will have theirs, the telcos will have theirs, and the other third-party apps who are using people's API will die. Trust you me, in 2 years' time, most of the people you are hearing will not be in existence. So why don't we focus on product? Okay, let's package product and services first, then we superimpose payment on it, like the way Alibaba and Co did. Connecting buyers and sellers together first, then they integrated Alipay into that particular platform, and they are making billions
Out of
in
it.
seconds. Right, so everybody, okay, Spikey has money, so I can develop an app, so pay your light bill,
Amen.
and then the next moment he also develops for another. Everybody is developing a payment app, so who will do the payment?
And what are they buying?
Exactly.
So now he's broken it down. He's broken fintech down.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that all these tech companies, what even is a tech company, if I may ask? Yeah, like I really need to understand, what is a tech company?
I mean, I guess it's in the name. A company that puts together different forms of technology.
So if
and
someone
makes it
sells
available.
any form of technology to a tech company,
Yeah, pretty much.
So a high tech mechanic is a tech company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Any company that develops or deploys technology is a tech company.
so can we say that these tech companies will be the basics of a tech industry?
You really like this industry word.
Pardon me, because that is the core of the discussion today.
No,
We're
I-
talking
I-
about a tech
It's
industry.
ambitious.
I like your optimism, and it's great.
What
It's
we've
well founded.
we've had people come up with the dreams of creating a Ghanaian version of Silicon Valley.
Yes.
And then we have, last time we had Dr. Thomas Mensah on the show, and he said he's starting his own version of Silicon Valley in Ghana. So pardon me if I think that we have the potential of
We do
a
have the
tech
potential,
industry.
but I feel like right now we are not there.
You see, technology is driven by people. not necessarily the branding. Right? So an investor is going to invest in the person who originated the idea, not necessarily the idea.
Yeah.
So they will invest in the Mark Zuckerberg because he has the mind to even recreate another product if Facebook fails. Right? So they will invest in that, not necessarily Facebook. So if you want to develop the tech industry in Ghana and scale it, we have to develop the minds that can develop technology. You have to develop
That
the
is
minds
absolutely
that
brilliant.
can give footprints to whatever technology idea that we have. And we need policy, government policy. You see, it's not enough to say, okay, you're doing Ghana Post GPS and digitizing addresses and all that, and digitizing. In fact, I was so excited when I went to DVLA and I got my driver's license in 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Very exciting. So the usual thing of, going to wait for 2 weeks and 3 weeks,
And
that is
counting on golden
technology.
boys.
But you see, we should be able to scale technology so that it will not be that expensive to pay 500 and something for a 30-minute service. Right? So government policy must give direction to the whole concept, and then to pull along the people with ideas and the businesses who are ready to invest in it.
So which one comes first? The policy or the people with the ideas who get the investment, who get the funding?
I think it's the people, because this is even evident in America right now with all the Congress and everything. You realize that those in Congress don't really know what's going on. It's only because of recent scandals that they know that, something is going on. So it has to be, it's like, get the people who can make it, let them make it, let the people, the consumers enjoy it. And hopefully people will follow the money trail and become aware of the potential of this, or some yawa will happen and then we'll be like, okay, we really need to check this. But about the mind thing that Maximum said is very, very important. It's not only the creators that we need to nurture, we need to nurture the average consumer. Now, one of the best forms of fintech in Ghana is mobile money. It's simple. Everybody knows how to do it. Your grandmother, knows how to operate it. It's a very simple thing, but that's the main line. If you are creating amazing technology and there's no one to see it as amazing, it will stay where it is.
Well, it also takes, it may be amazing, but it takes branding of that product to make it appealing to people. There have been lots of messaging applications before WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that probably because of the name WhatsApp, that made it ubiquitous.
A bit of it. But functionality played a role in it.
That too.
Massively.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
WhatsApp
if it comes to
basically-
functionality, then I would say the almighty Telegram wins.
Well, I mean, Telegram
is a bloatware. It has too many features that we don't even use frequently.
But I mean, Telegram has been taking a win recently with Facebook going off and
what,
3
3 million subscribers?
in a day, and they've been taking a win.
No,
So it's
just
all
a
about
dash.
time.
The question is, how many of them will stay there when WhatsApp comes back online? You see, that's the problem.
Let's be honest, I barely use Telegram.
Now we're not segueing, we're going back to talking to the tech industry. Now, we are talking about the tech industry and everything, but do we really need a tech industry in Ghana? Are we a tech-oriented people?
We need one.
No, you see, tech is the future. Tech is like a universal language. Is the light that will touch everything.
Yeah.
Right? So everything is being formatted. Very soon you don't need this studio to
Very
broadcast
true.
content. You don't need journalists to come in physically to string whatever story, right? So they can do broadcasting anywhere in the world, right? Netflix is killing the cable TVs in Ghana and everywhere.
And even
And they
the
know
silver
that
screen.
every time they are selling price instead of product. Most of their promotions you're hearing, they are giving discounts and things. They realize the thing is not working. Education is being formatted. Agric is being formatted. Government is being formatted. Regulation is being formatted. Everything is being formatted by technology. So we can't do without. We cannot do away with without the technology. So we need to have some direction and some focus about how we can develop the tech space, so that we can make money off it and make sure it helps us make more money cost effectively.
So to add to what you said, I mean, we don't need to be the people, a country who made a new WhatsApp or a new Facebook. I mean, it's an idea, but there are other ways where in terms of technology, like you said, agriculture. I mean, most people play by their strengths. Play by your strengths in terms of, first, let the technology work for you in terms of making systems faster, making things better, making it simpler to do, maximize productivity. Then we can deal with the fun stuff of, oh, I created this app that is so amazing and you can stream whatever. Then, like you said, direction is very important.
So, and based on that, I would think that, okay, quick one, as you want to say
Well,
something.
I also think that we are concentrating on the software aspect of technology so much that we've left the hardware.
Right.
We know that every software needs a hardware to operate
Exactly.
on. You see, and these are devices, a lot of these robot arms and so on. You know, we need our welders and all those technical people. We need to teach them what we know, so
Right.
we can use them. We can make good use of them. We are not doing it.
I mean,
I agree with
I
you.
mean, we don't need to go far.
Coming from where he's coming from, you see, and I was going to go to that. He's an industrialist, if I should put it that way.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
from all the way hardware to software.
I mean, to just a simple thing is where the new car keys are very different. You can code them, recode them, and everything. You can have your key not starting your ignition. You take it to a vulcanizer or a repair, and he tell you have to change the entire ignition. When you,
you
can
take your
just
key to a
recode-
vulcanizer?
Yeah, to be
No,
honest.
I'm saying you take the entire car.
If you do
to
that,
a-
you deserve anything that happens to you.
no, I mean to whoever repairs your car, because the people on the streets who are repairing the cars, like, car technology has moved really fast.
Yeah.
Can the people on our streets fix our cars? Some can.
Hold on. Now, based on what Kwekwana has said about the streets,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised that when you go to Tiptoe Lane, and I was just about to mention this when someone sent me a message. So here's what he said. I believe Tech Hub is on the street. My iPhone 6 Plus went blank. I sent it to a supposed Apple authorized dealer, and they claimed my screen was spoiled and had to be changed. I took it to a shop on the streets, and he fixed it in less than an hour. Sharp. Tomorrow, if I have an issue, where will I go?
Just look at it.
You see,
Straight
so
up, yeah.
the streets,
The street shop.
the streets are still empowered. It's just that we're not taking advantage of what people know. For instance, we have one in the studio right now, Kukwa Nancy.
Yeah.
He's building drones.
Yeah.
He
Very
hasn't-
interesting stuff.
He
Yeah.
has no education on drone building and
Yeah.
anything, but he studied it on his own and he's doing it.
Mhm.
Someone like that, the government should
You
support.
see, it breaks my heart to hear some of these things, right? You see, technology is both spirit and body.
Yeah.
He builds the body, somebody builds the spirit, then they come alive. Somebody who is building drone from his own personal, wisdom. Let's put it, he wasn't trained,
Yeah.
right? But he has the skill. Some countries will run after him to make sure they put him in those. They have special stream of people who are trained because they have the knowledge and the gifting to develop such technology. Then you can scale those products made in Ghana drones. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
But Charlie, it's not part of one district, one factory.
So you see, another thing too is our educational system. Right from senior high school, you'd expect that people they graduate out of high school with intention of studying what they want to study. And I can tell you for a fact, a lot of people come out of senior high school and they're now going to think about what they're going to study in college.
I feel like you're going
It's in
too
the
far.
university or something.
Yeah.
It's
Let-
university.
let me
When
be
you're
hon-
done, we are not thinking
Let
about
me be honest with you. If you are going to bring education here, let me just be straight up with you, because I've had a problem with the Ghanaian education system. Now, here's the thing. You have a basic, what we call basic education. And so many people, quite a number of people come out of basic education and they are not able to speak good English. And you go to senior high school. Now, let's be honest. Senior high school is when you go through the greatest change in terms of your body is changing, your mind is changing, your circles are changing. There's so much change involved in senior high school. That is the place where you find who you are most often, more often than not. That's where you find out who you are. And that's when you start building more lasting relationships. So education is great and everything, but sometimes skills trump it. Because to fix the educational system is going to require a huge overhaul. But to just teach people skills, I feel like it will be much simpler.
Okay. So we are joined by the Dean of Faculty of Informatics and Computer Information Systems at the Ghana Technology University, Dr. Isa Oseya Boateng. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, who is this?
Hello? So, anyway, back to the conversation.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole thing comes back down to having the right people with the right skills, right, to set up a technology industry in Ghana.
We ahead of the Tema Technology
Mm.
Park. A friend of mine started Silicon Accra.
Mm-hmm.
So David is working on that very strongly. And of course, when in other countries, when you hear things like this, even the Metropolitan Assembly will be chasing you to give you funding
Mm.
and help you, acquire the land and make sure everything is done properly. At least they will give you the pipeline, the water connection, internet connection, light to your location so that you can build that.
Mm.
But in this side of the planet, it's quite different. And all you hear is policy. Malaysians are coming to build tech park for us. It's in Tema now. They are moving it to Pram Pram. The next woman is moving to another place, and it's still on paper. Right? We are not in a hurry when the world has left us behind.
I mean, the one district, one factory. Let's be honest. We can a tech hub in each district is pretty much a factory. Pretty much.
Some years ago,
Yeah.
I remember very well that there was a van with laptops, with internet, going around public schools teaching children about computers and the internet. That was how I got my first email address.
Interesting.
This was an initiative started by the UN. Max, I'm sure you've heard about that.
Yeah.
Where they had buses and they had laptops in there.
Yeah.
And they come and set up. So they find like a classroom. They set up a computer and everything. And they educate people. This thing went on for a very short while and then was axed. I don't know. But it was one of the initiatives that I really, really think that worked.
I mean, why should the UN be the one to do this?
Exactly. I saw a photograph, 1960s, where they have mobile libraries.
Yeah.
1960.
Are there even libraries in Ghana anymore?
Oh, they're setting up
in
one
a car,
at,
vehicle. They
because
move it from
I remember
community
when I
to
was
community.
near Gold House.
When I was young, we used to go to the Accra Library. Is that place still in existence?
So
Mm-hmm.
It's still in existence. So I could just go there and access it like without any stress.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So now the investors, instead of virtualizing libraries, we are still buying physical books.
I mean,
and
Where money comes from, you can't attend class without saying, all right,
Someone
you buy these textbooks and you buy these handouts.
yeah.
the handouts. In fact, technically, you are
Still buying
pirating
oh
somebody's
yeah,
material.
well, unless it's obviously something that the lecturer
Exactly.
came up with. Now the question is, do we need, like a Silicon Valley in Ghana? Do we need a place where we have all the techies where we can harness their potential and create stuff, or we just need little hubs in little places?
We need direction. We need strategy.
When you
we
say
need
direction-
policy, government. Okay, we want to achieve. Maybe Ghana should be developed. Maybe to this level in the next 40 years. Technology is going to be the heart of that development. It's going to give direction. So we are developing the education sector, agri sector, whichever sector. We are going to use technology to treat whatever solution that we need in that space. It's happened. I think Silicon Valley was started by Stanford University, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So now Silicon Valley is like $1 billion per
it's a
square
global
meter.
hub.
Right, so somebody need to initiate that. Silicon Valley will form on its own. Right, so let's get the direction right. Let's see how we can make things simpler. Can we put long distance education or free SHS even on the internet? Okay, give it a TV channel or something. People can learn on TV channels. You can dial a number. You can listen to a teacher teaching you a subject. We should be thinking about how we can use technology to make life simpler.
But why
and
isn't this
better.
happening?
Somebody is
question.
not thinking.
Well, the thing is, one thing we seem to be forgetting with all these talk of how technology industries is that it's a business.
Yeah.
Businesses have to make money.
Mhm.
And more so than people not understanding how to make use of technology, it's a bigger problem of people not understanding how to use that technology to make money. Someone will literally, I bet you, every day there's thousands of people around the country thinking, oh, we can make this app and it to solve so and so problems. But Lord knows, even if you even get as far as developing the app, then getting a market for it and make it a viable success, you'll be lucky to even get that far and learn some lessons from it. People don't get that far because people don't understand the simple tenets of how do you run and operate a business. So if there's anything that we can say, okay, this is how government can help, we should just make it more easy for young people our age, because Lord knows our fathers who spend all of their times on WhatsApp cannot figure out how to do this stuff. Young people that let's understand, get a place where they can sit down and learn, okay, this is how you run a business. Now, if it so happens to involve a lot of technology, your passion for your technology or everything will be secondary to you being able to keep your company running long enough to give an impact. And once that happens, what you see is that more and more companies are start rising up around the place, because people now understand how to make money. And because they're using more and more technology infused in their products and services, it starts to proliferate and spread around. As more people are able to learn, as more people are able to get access from all these new improvements, people are like, okay, my life will be easier if I make use of this. So they'll start spreading. A good example is the new ECG meters that are coming out. They're now saying, oh, you can check how much you have right from your phone. But I challenge anyone to tell me that, oh yeah, it works that well. We want such a feature, but if it's not easily accessible, it won't happen. That is the thing with the rise of technology the world over. It makes life easier. If it doesn't make life easier than it currently is, it will not go anywhere. We'll sit here hoping, oh yeah, we wish technology would come and solve our problems, or wish people will really get in there and start making it. But look, if it doesn't make our lives easier than they are now, no one's going to try.
So basically, it's all about solving a problem, making life easier.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to tech, most often, I slightly disagree with Michael on the passion being secondary, because most often than not, most of the tech companies that have come up and have been very big, have become very big, were passion projects. Like, someone saw an issue. Let's take Snapchat, for instance. Very funny app. The reasoning for the existence of Snapchat is just clandestine and very silly, but it works. It works so much that Facebook wanted to buy this guy out. He said no. Facebook is still trying to kill this guy, and he's still standing. That's a passionate man. Instagram, they bent the knee, they sold to it, and now they all seem to regret it now. WhatsApp too, the guy seems to regret, because he was saying that people should get off of Facebook for whatever reason. But I think passion is but I would not deny the fact that it's a business. If you have all the passion in the world and you cannot change it to money, because you also have to pay for your passion.
Yeah.
Your passion is something that needs money to continue to survive. Unfortunately, I don't want us to dive into the finances or how to finance a tech project in Ghana, a startup and everything in Ghana. But unfortunately for this country,
How to finance anything in this country.
unfortunately for this country, it's like
Nissan Tundra for sale, by the way.
unfortunately for this country, is getting funding is not easy at all. Even if you are able, let me just drop this. Even if you are able to get an angel investor out there, you've been able to convince them that you are not a fraud, which is a problem we are facing in West Africa, because if you are talking about big money, everybody assumes you're a fraudster. You've managed to convince them that you're not doing fraud. You're not. Do you know the minimum amount of money someone needs to invest into you for it to be legally considered in a country as a partnership?
How much?
$200,000 to $250,000. Your idea? Why? Why?
And that is the rule of the
That's
country.
the rule. Even if a foreigner wants to start a business in this country, they have to pay $200,000. And when I say foreigner, I mean even Togolese.
Of course. And you see, the sad thing, I always say that venture capital will not work. It will not survive in Ghana. Right? Because, you see, in the US, if you have $100 million and it took you to the bank, okay, at the end of the year, you were paid 1% interest.
Yeah.
In Ghana, how much do you earn?
About 14 max.
Yeah. So the guy will say, okay, 1%, right? So let me just gamble with 40 million. So let me get some startups, invest 10 million in them, 4 of them, maybe in 2 years' time or 5 years' time, we can sell one for 200 million. He'll make more profit. Gambling with the 40 million on 4 startups, knowing that one will earn me 200 million. Come to Ghana. when you even go to the bank, they're charging you 36%, 30%, and the rest for the interest.
Yeah.
So they will prefer even giving money to people who sell tangible products, tomato sellers and the rest, than investing in idea. So if you come to Ghana and say, okay, venture capital, it will not survive. It won't work.
The tech industry has been based on angel investments largely.
Yeah.
People who know it's a high stake game and know that we can lose all their money and won't come after you.
Yeah, then the angels also know where the valley is and the mountain
and
is
everything.
and the
But it doesn't work like that in Ghana.
If you're listening
coming
to
for
us
your money.
and you want to join us in the conversation, you can send a WhatsApp to 0244340437. WhatsApp on 0244340437. You want to call us 0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. So we have a message. Wisdom Bafa says, indeed, government needs to give special attention to IT. I recommend that government should give priority to IT businesses, startups in disbursement of venture capital. Indeed, venture capital funds across the world focus their investment on IT startups. Microsoft benefited from venture capital from founding stages. So someone also says, hello guys, I'm a software developer based in Estonia. I plan on setting up a coding school in Ghana for free to teach young people. What advice will you offer me? And that's from Dawood from Helsinki, Finland. So guys,
Opa, for free? He won't survive.
He won't survive.
Unless he gets funding from outside. So that,
No,
of course, free means somebody's paying for it.
Yeah.
So, of course.
And also he needs some unfortunately, very tight connections in this country because any idea can be killed because of some political sentiment.
You need the patience of God. That's
Why you guys being so
being-
doomsday?
No, it's
Anyway,
reality.
we have
We live in
Michael on the line. Hello, Michael.
Yo, guys, good evening.
Good evening, Michael.
I hope you guys are good.
Yes, we're good.
All right, my first question, I have this friend of mine.
Right.
The guy is really, really good in IT, but he doesn't have any qualification, like not even junior high school set or nothing. Is there any kind of IT school in Ghana here which can employ him for me? Because I really want to get a guy to IT school. Then maybe start off. Yeah, is there maybe some of the IT school you guys know which you can at least tell us, okay, this school is actually good at it. Maybe in case he goes, it will actually help him out.
Okay, cool. So we'll answer that in a bit. All right. We have another caller. Hello, Isaac.
Yeah, I'm calling from Taifa. I was listening to your presentation. I wanted to know how the Snapchat came about.
Okay.
You didn't talk about it.
Okay.
And also, it's true about what you're saying. It's like IT is not really being inspired in the country because there are a lot. You go to school, UPSC for example, we're studying programming, and most of the things you are studying in programs, like some of the lectures are not even, I don't know how to say it, but they don't really teach the programming to that kind of level. So it's like YouTube and other courses are online is what is helping us.
Right.
Me, for example, I'm studying Python, and it's helping me in a way. But then you talk to other friends and I'm trying to create a team, but it's really difficult because people are not really inspired about it and don't really know how great, programming and how far programming can take you. But I also want to know about the Snapchat, how it came about.
Sure. So we'll answer that in a bit. Okay, so Michael, not you, the Michael that called said he wanted to know which school. Before that, the Ghanaian version of insert name here. That's the problem right there. Some of these things aren't applicable to us in Ghana. We have different problems from the US and should stop trying to make Ghanaian versions of solutions to US problems. That's from Z.
Thank you, Z.
I personally agree with you.
Thank you.
Okay, so it seems we all agree with Z.
Thank you, Z. So, and Z is a programmer. That's why he would know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Michael wants to know which school to recommend for his friend who has no qualification.
I know you want to say something, but the first thing I would like to say is that I remember my friends who did computer engineering in certain university in this country, and exams was very funny. It's very interesting because when I was in school, because many of my lecturers were not had taught in foreign, so we did data analysis. We did a data analysis course, and the lecturer who taught that course actually allowed us to bring our laptops to do that. So she got data from people, her friends around the world, and she taught us how to do it. So we actually brought our laptops. A class similar to mine that was doing the same data analysis course, but with a different lecturer, took math sets and stuff to go and do calculations.
Wow.
Now here's the thing, the kicker is that we got to use our laptops for a data analysis class, but the computer science class, my friends who at the time when I was in school, they write the code on paper.
Okay, I was going to say the same thing. University of Ghana, right?
I didn't want to mention names, but
No, you should be frank with the computer science department. They do coding on A4
paper.
sheet.
What is the meaning of that? So your guy saying that he wants his whoever to go to an IT school. I mean, it's cool and everything, but I feel like you would learn a lot more online.
No, but the thing is, online, he'll get a lot of practical knowledge. But annoyingly and unfortunately for him, gets a job, especially here in Ghana.
Oh, he had a job.
No, but if he
No,
intends,
but if
Okay, you need
Yeah.
qualification.
unless he intends to go into business himself, if you want to get a job in Ghana, you need a piece of paper stamped by someone that says you know X and Y skill.
Yeah.
What makes it even worse is that
hold that thought. So Linus is saying,
Tech tips.
hi there. No, not Linus Sective. Hi there, Geek Squad. You guys seem to be pessimistic, all doom and gloom about the tech space. You're making the program too one-sided. Are there any positives at all? See?
I
You guys.
started with positives.
there are positives. We'll get to them. But
You're running out of time. If you're
I mean, the
gonna get to them.
negatives far outweigh the positives. So sometimes it makes you wonder if there is
Any
limelight.
positive.
Like, I mean,
But there
sometimes.
is
But
always
the truth is, I personally was inspired when I saw today on one of the tech groups I am on, that there's a talk going to be held very soon, and it's about females in coding. Now, I was very, very, very interested because it's one field that people have always been like, especially the female. The females. Let me just, it's very difficult to talk about
Gender
that
politics
stuff now.
right now. Wow, bro.
So, but they are organizing, a talk, and they're going to talk to more females, and they're going to get more females into coding. And on the panel, all three of them were females.
Splendid.
And that is good because technology has become so male dominated. Look at us here, we're all guys.
I mean, we've been inviting a certain female now from Spintex, but she has
That's
never
my own
even.
personal agenda.
No,
Well, you're the only one that seems to remember.
because she's the one who seems to keep in touch with the show
Oh, yeah,
every
headlines.
single time.
Hair defense
So-
now is a good fan of the show.
No,
We
they
used to
we have solid ladies in the tech space, Farida and Ethel and a couple of others. They are doing a lot of amazing stuff.
And that for me is a positive because Dawood says he's very surprised that he wants to give back to society. That's all he wants to do.
we
it's
appreciate that, and it's true. We're not saying don't give back to society, just that be aware that
It could be very challenging.
it will be very challenging.
But I know
And,
someone actually does this.
So he should contact Regina of Soronko Academy.
yes.
So I'm sure they can partner. And
Yeah.
get
So if you can
it.
partner with Regina,
I mean,
I know
yeah.
she does that. She
if you have someone who's
teaches.
firmly grounded here
Yeah,
and
yeah.
knows what to do, you're
That's
fine.
it.
But if you're going to come here as quote unquote a noob,
fresh-eyed,
No.
hoping for the best.
no,
The best won't happen.
It's
So-
probably not gonna.
All four of my panelists today.
We are not pessimists.
Yeah, no.
We are
You
not
didn't let me finish.
No, we see we've witnessed the dark side.
We've
and
seen
the-
it.
and then the bright side of things.
Mm.
So we are just
So
trying to say,
on a scale of 1 to 10, or should I say, if we're going to divide according to percentage, dark versus positive versus negative, when it comes to our tech space.
Let me just give you one. It's not a limelight. It's definitely not. It's more like a huge shade on everything that you're about to say. It's, you go to university, you get a degree. Like Michael says, you get a paper that shows that you do this. Someone in Ghana, it's very interesting. The tech industry is very interesting in the sense that someone comes to you with his hopes and dreams written in his mind. That I have this amazing app in mind. All hopes and dreams, hoping you and dreaming that you will be able to bring it to reality at a very paltry fee. You'd be hard pressed to get coding jobs that pay you 5,000 Ghana cedis in Ghana. And that is about the basic amount of money that they should be earning, because the job they do, it may seem simple, but it's not. That's the problem with so many people here, because I've been hassled taking a photograph and the person tells me that, why is this so expensive? I be you are not using film. What you mean by that?
So someone sent a message. He says we need a tech industry driven by government policy where we have system developers, microchip developers, hardware inventions. That's the industry we're looking at. Currently, we're just importing technology, right from national ID to DVLA. We should develop our own systems backed by policy. That's Francis.
About the policies, it's very interesting, because sometimes I'm beginning to feel like policies are what snuffle or try to cut the lights off technology. We see it's happening in the EU. The EU is really shaking the tech industries up and they don't really know what to do. America's about to do. You hold on for a second. I'm saying the only policies that I would agree with is like Kwekwan Nancy talked about in terms of hardware. They should make the importation and clearing of these parts, they should make it very, very inexpensive, so that you can actually do stuff. Right now, if you want to build your own computer in Ghana, I mean, people do it, but it's not that cheap.
Building your own computer, you still have to import the parts.
You have to import the parts, and it's not that cheap to clear. So those are the type of policies that will enable the exterior, in the sense that they will bolster technology, but policies that would say that we want you to do this, because technology is such a imaginative space. It's a space that is filled with passion. People who are passionate about things most often do not like to be given or told what direction they should go.
You know, when we're talking policy, we just want a direction. We know this is where we want to head. These are the benefits. If you do A, B, C, D, we'll give you tax, rebates, or you're going to get a lot of. That's the kind of policy, not the data protection concept that we have. Even in Ghana, we have some data protection, but a lot of companies are not registered as data controllers, and nobody is enforcing that. In fact, technically, all the social media platforms are supposed to be registered in Ghana as data controllers.
Yes.
Because they have Ghanaians, using those platforms, and they keep publishing content on themselves there. Facebook was in Ghana. We had a community, engagement with them, and I asked the same question. They go like, "Oh, we use international law." I said, "No, we have Data Protection Act in Ghana, so forget about international law." And I know from what I have heard, Kenya is even coming out with a policy where every Facebook user in Kenya will be deemed a customer of Facebook, so it's taxable, right? So Facebook is going to pay taxes on the people who use Facebook in Kenya, and then they are going to also pay some amount when people advertise on Facebook. So that's where they are heading. And now we have this group called the GAFA, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Alibaba. They are trying to push their way into the African space with the whole concept of free flow of data. And then they are going to, get your data for free. And some governments are signing on. I know Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and then I think another African country, they've signed on to that. But if, as a country, Ghana, if you are not interested, or we don't have any policy governing that data space, they are going to mine and collect our data for free. And we have the big giants here in Ghana in various sectors, which I don't want to mention, collecting data no more, the number of cars on the road and where people move than, the Ministry of Transportation knows, and then the things people search on the internet more than even the government of Ghana knows, right? All this data, the EU, they are making sure that they keep those data, and the companies can't use it beyond
a certain
limit. But here it's free for all, and data is flowing freely.
I agree with Kwame.
Let me read some of the messages. So someone says there's a lady who developed an app for autistic kids to communicate. She went to Telecom University, now Ghana Technology University, and she won the Total Startup Program. So you see, that's positive. We have people doing stuff.
I'm just going to say that I think it's about time we started talking about positive stuff. However, I would like to give a slight disclaimer that should we have a part 2 of this conversation, is definitely going to get more dreary.
Might need a whole part 3 actually. Things are going.
Because I feel it's about time we point out the reality. And to be honest, the reality isn't that great. Does this country have potential to be a technological hub? definitely. Because here's the thing, we Ghanaians have been faced with quite a number of problems, and technology is supposed to make your life simpler. There are certain problems you've seen that people on the other side of the world will never fathom. So if you are able to create technology to make that problem go away, it can be used everywhere. It can. So there are a lot of positives. Ghanaians have been through a lot. That's
Now-
a positive.
A positive note I was just about to mention, we've had him on the show a couple of times, the president of the IoT network, Josh.
Yes.
He's doing great things.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And he needs support.
Yes, he needs angel investors because honestly, straight up,
He
don't
needs
take a
free
loan.
money.
Don't take it. Yeah, he needs
No,
free
he
money.
does-
Don't take a loan from.
Well, I also
for-
think the developers in Ghana, Ghanaians should have patience and allow them to make mistakes, actually. Because Ghanaians are looking for ready-made products that are already successful. And, we can't jump from A to Z.
To Z, straight.
Just straightforward like that.
But it's
Pick
not
the
just,
mobile phone, how it started.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
bulky thing you carry around.
it's not just-
They've developed
Siemens
it
C25.
over the years. Now it's smaller and smarter and faster in our hand.
but it's not just
So you have to
everybody.
start
We have another
from somewhere.
message. We have the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. What are they doing? I believe they can do something in terms of the policy conversation,
need-
as Emmanuel from La Paz.
We need Ghana Innovation Authority, separate from environment and science.
Personally, I feel like we need a junior ministry, quote unquote. Because let's be honest, majority of the people in power, America has shown us that majority of the people in power don't know what's going on.
And that's even one,
And
one
that's
of the
them.
more
No,
advanced
that
countries.
don't know what's
Imagine
going on
here.
in technology.
In technology, yes.
I mean, yes, it is true. And I
So-
can tell you for a fact that even our parents in the house
Yeah.
are complete examples
Of what is
how
going on.
technology has left them
so,
behind.
So it's about time where we take the politics out of it. We get a body,
Yeah.
a younger body,
Yeah.
a body of younger people to think about how do we make this work.
I was really hoping to have Kwekuche Ofori, you remember,
Yes.
on the show because he's a young person
Oh yeah, he's doing.
and he
yeah.
works with Nita. So
yeah.
maybe he could give us some insight.
I think
on-
next week he might like to come.
Sure, we'll try and get him in here next week. So, but the thing is, do we have like a roadmap? If given the chance today, so all the noise we're making here, then government wakes up is like, okay, we've heard you guys. Now we want you guys to come and help us set up a policy or give us the direction because, hey, you guys say we don't know what the dinosaurs. We want you to give us the direction. What are we going to do about it?
Create a national board responsible for this National Board of Innovation. They are responsible for taking in new innovations, taking people who want to create stuff, new pieces of technology or companies related to that, and then guiding them down a path to make sure they succeed, or at least they know what to do. They're not holding their hand because you're an adult. You don't want you to, but hello, we are not throwing you out to swim with rocks tied to your feet. We're giving you some aids so you can do the right thing. If you swim, all the better for us. If you sink, come back and teach us lessons so we can make the next iteration better, and then it feeds in on itself. You can have people like Josh from IoT Hub on the board, the lady who won
The
that
startup
say
app.
and so on and so forth. There's so many people who you can have sitting on that board who can then vet. And if you fail, that doesn't mean automatically you're cut off. That means that you just need to understand more. You need to present yourself more.
Yeah.
So it's a feedback loop. You fail in your bid, fine. We'll teach you how to make it better so that it can keep feeding in on itself. But that's the thing. It has to be a separate board. Maybe put on in the one the municipality. It's its own separate entity, kind of like a sub company.
Not affected by any of this political stuff.
Exactly.
Another
So
thing
that
is
every
just
year cycle through the board, gets a new batch of people in there, so on and so forth. But that is separate on its own. Sits there, and its sole purpose is to collect all of these people coming in, make them better, send them out into the world. If they fail, even in the inception stage, bring them back and learn more from those lessons and send them out again till we get it right.
another
Wait,
thing would be
wow.
to just
Politician.
We're almost
let me just say the other thing.
Spikey, you see that most of our young Ghanaian youth, those who are very well good in IT, they like to do this fraud thing and so on. So why don't we channel them through that same panel, give them a cybersecurity courses,
Yeah.
let
Yes.
them learn more about it, and then because Israelites want to be one of the
Yeah,
best.
they are.
Yeah.
They are the best.
Even on
We are
that,
the best.
there's a millionaire who started off as a hacker. I read about him like 2 days ago. He is the first cybersecurity young millionaire.
You didn't
Do-
tell us
do we
how
have a direct
Snapchat
tweet?
How
started.
Snapchat started? Well, the guy just wanted to send a picture that disappears because he didn't want
People
some
to
of
be
his
able to see it.
exploits
To
to
be
be
seen.
left as keys.
And
for
on
the
that
future.
bombshell, the show has to come to a close. The show has been Geek Squad, and big thanks to my producers, Selwyn, Dennis the Fairboy, Dela Glanu, and Abe Kusan Kofi. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next week with some more conversation on tech.